Welcome back, friends. How'd you do? In this video, we're going to see some solutions of that while loop quiz. All right, so why don't we start with the very first one here. Print all the even numbers between 132 and 148. So first, let's start with defining the variable. So I'll say var number equal 132. All right, so next is writing the while loop. Now, we just have to write a while loop that is checking to see if the number is less than or equal to 148. Now, because here I do want to include 148 as well, right? So inside the while loop, I'll say console.log number. And then down here, we'll add 2 to the counter, just like that. Because, of course, I want the console log just the even numbers. So we started with 132, and here 132 is less than 148, so it prints 132. Then add 2 to the number, so the number is now 134. 134 is less than 148, that's true, so we've printed 134, etc., until we reach 148. Then 148 is less than or equal to 148, so it prints out 148. It adds 2 again, but now our number is 150. So here, 150 is less than or equal to 148? False. So that's where our loop ends. So now let's save all this and go to the console. Here, when I refresh the page, we'll see the even numbers between 132 and 148. Okay, so let's go to our code again. All right, so this is one method, and another method could be like this. So first I want to comment out this first method, okay? So now let's say the variable number equal to 132 again. I'll write the while loop, and I'll say while, and again I'll say number is less than or equal to 148. Okay, so this time we're going to look at all the numbers in between 132 and 148, but we're going to print it out only if it's even, right? So this time we're going to look at all the numbers in between 132 and 148, but we're only going to print it out if it's even. So we will loop through for every number, but we don't want to count by twos. And then we're going to have an if statement right in here, and that'll check to see if a number is even or not. So how do we check to see if a number is even or not? Well, at this point, we do need to think a little bit back to math class. So we learned that if a number is divided by 2, then that number is even, right? If it's divisible by 2. So to be able to control to see that our number is divided by 2 exactly, we need to use a mod, right? In the previous lesson, I said you need to do a little bit of research about this, especially about our second challenge, which we ask you to print out the numbers which are divisible by 7, right? Same principle. So you need to remember mod for math. And that looks like if number mod 2 is 0 in JavaScript, this sign here, this is what we use for mod in JavaScript. Okay? All right, cool. So that's how you examine for numbers if they're even. If it's evenly divisible by 2, then we'll print it out and we'll just add 1. So I say console log number inside the if statement. Now inside of it, inside the while loop, we're going to just add 1. Okay, so that's it. So first let's save all this and go to the console. So here I'll refresh the page, and yeah, here we see the same result. Okay, so now let's return to our code. We'll walk through again what we've done here. So first our number is 132. 132 is less than 148, so that's true. Then here we look to see the if statement 132 mod 2 equal to 0. Yeah, that's right, because the remainder of 132 divided by 2 is 0, right? So that's what we look at mod. So remember that. Okay, so when we print out the 132 and then we add 1, our number's 133 now. So 133 is still less than 148, so that's true. Then in the if, we say 133 mod equal to 0. Is that right? No, that is false. So it's not going to print out the 133. So you see how that continues until 148. Okay, so this is the other method to solve the first challenge. So of course this way is shorter and it's a little more efficient because this loop here is only going to run half as many times as this one because we're counting by twos. But the second method is way more precise. The advantage of this setup here is it will always print out the even numbers no matter what number we start it with versus this one, okay? So after seeing the second method, you will definitely be able to solve the second question a lot more easily. So the second challenge is to print all the numbers divisible by 7 that are between 25 and 100. First, I just want to add a console log here to separate the two results in the console. So I'll say console.log numbers divisible by 7 between 25 and 100. Okay, now down here, I can start my solution. So I'll say var count equal to 25. Okay, so here I'll write my while loop while count is less than or equal to 100. So now here again, we're going to loop through all these numbers and then print out just the ones that are divisible by 7. So I'll say if count mod 7 equal to 0, then inside the if statement console.log count. After that, I'm going to add 1 to the count. Okay, so that's all we need to do. Let's go ahead and refresh our browser. And you can see we get all the numbers that are divisible by 7 that are between 25 and 100. Pretty cool, huh? So that's it for while loops. Well, for this problem set, right? So in this video, we saw the solutions to the quiz that we gave you earlier. Your method can be a little bit different than ours. That's okay. If you reach the right result, good for you. But the second method here that I showed you is much more general for a solution. So we'll take a quick break right here and we'll continue in the next section. Yes, there's more to learn.